Hey guys, my name is Amanda. Welcome to my channel. I am so happy to have you here today. If you have not subscribed to my channel and you like the content that you see, please consider subscribing. If you do subscribe, please hit that bell button so you are notified every single time that I upload. And everyone, please consider giving me a big thumbs up, as that really helps me out here on YouTube, and it allows YouTube to know that people are enjoying the content I create. Thank you so much, friends. Enjoy the DIYs today. So for our first DIY, I'm going to show you how I made this gorgeous, inexpensive centerpiece using a mixture of Hobby Lobby and Dollar Tree items. To begin, I have a charger plate and 2 trees from Dollar Tree. Now this charger plate, I believe, did come from Dollar General, but Dollar Tree does have charger plates very similar. I hot glued a piece of floral foam down to the middle of my charger. I removed the bottom of each of my trees and stuck it on either side of this foam. I then just spread them out until they are tree-shaped or triangle-shaped on either side. You will also need a couple of different ribbons that coordinate that you like. So I have this candy cane ribbon from Hobby Lobby, I believe, last year, but they should still carry it this year. And right now, Christmas items are 60% off. So I'm just going to use the branches to twist this ribbon, and then I'm going to take a few inches to form a loop and twist it again between 2 more branches. I'm going to do this on either side with 2 coordinating ribbons. So I do go back and add a 3rd strip of ribbon on either side. I just add another strip of the candy stripe ribbon, so the candy cane ribbon is in the middle of the 2 candy stripe ribbons, if that makes sense. Now I have these beautiful ornaments from Hobby Lobby. They came for $14.99 and they were 60% off, so just around $7. And they are so cute, and at Dollar Tree they would be $1.25 for 1, maybe 2. So I just placed 5 on either side, and I made sure that the silver part, the hanger part, was downward so it wasn't visible. And here's what that looks like, but you could use any small ornament or a little knickknack that you have to just jazz this up. And now we're going to create a beautiful bow for the top of this arrangement. We're going to take a long strip of ribbon, and this ribbon is from Hobby Lobby, 60% off. I find it more inexpensive that way if you're going to be using a large amount. Now I'm just looping this over as you see me doing, kind of the way I do my expo, but I'm just going to continue doing it until I have 4 loops on either side. I am then going to take a piece of twine and tie it tightly in the middle, but you could use a zip tie or a pipe cleaner if you preferred to do that. The tighter that you tie your bow, the more you will be able to fluff it out, and this is a wired ribbon, so it fluffs really nicely. I just cut off the excess twine and I fluff out my bow by pulling the loops out with my fingers. Now you could leave this tail on and add an additional tail if you wanted to, but I end up removing it because I wasn't quite sure how I wanted this bow to look yet, so I just cut off this little tail, and then I am going to hot glue my bow right on top of that styrofoam between the 2 trees. Then I'm going to create another bow with 2 loops on either side, my classic little X bow, and glue that down. And then I'm going to be adding in a few tails, which are just strips of ribbon, and I dovetail the end. For a boutique finish, to dovetail the end, you just cut a triangle upward. So I place those on top of my stack of bows, and then I place another candy piece right on top of that. So now when you're looking down at this arrangement, it looks beautiful, but we got to fill our sides in. So I create a bow with 3 loops on either side for my side and put a candy there. I also add a couple of tails. The other side I do similar by adding a bow, and then I add a 1 loop bow in the middle on the other side, but this is totally customizable to whatever you like, just to make sure that those sides are covered and it looks beautiful from both sides. So here is what it looks like. Very customizable. This is just how I did mine, and I hope that you enjoyed it. So my next DIY is a beautiful glam Christmas DIY, but if you change the bow out, it could almost go for Valentine's Day as well. I had this
beautiful wreath form in my stash. I believe it was on clearance at Michael's last year. And these beautiful roses, they look like they have some snow on them. They are so pretty, and they were from Michael's as well, but Dollar Tree does carry beautiful florals and pink roses that you could use. I just go ahead and place my larger roses and then kind of stagger them with the smaller roses. Then I had some of these ornaments in my stash from clearance from last year, Hobby Lobby, but Dollar Tree has a similar rose-colored ornament, and I'm just kind of alternating them between these roses. And now I'm using some Dollar Tree smaller rose-colored ornaments and kind of sticking them where I still have spaces on either side of those larger ornaments between the little roses. I'm using a glossy finish, a matte finish, and the little sparkly. I kind of want a lot of dimension, and I think this looks really pretty. Now I'm adding in a few more trailing flowers that I had in my stash, and then I'm going to come in with some of these leaves that look like they were snowed on. They came with the roses as well, so I'm just going to hot glue them in and around. And this wreath is so easy and so customizable, but I think it's really pretty. You could also find a wreath form similar to this at the thrift store. I see these type of wreaths at my thrift store all the time, so there's an idea. Now I'm going to take a pretty gold ribbon that I honestly cannot remember where I purchased it, but I believe it was at Dollar Tree. They do have similar ribbons to this one if you can't find this exact one, but I am creating a 3-looped bow here by just folding it over until I have 3 loops on either side and cutting off the excess. I will then be twining it in the middle tightly so that I can go ahead and fluff out my loops. I want a nice big pretty bow for this wreath, but again, it's totally customizable. I just don't do a lot of glam on my channel, but I do love glam, so I thought I would go ahead and do a glam wreath. I really want this video to have a lot of different styles in it, so I really feel like I accomplished that by adding in this little glam DIY. So here I am just fluffing out this ribbon and making sure that I have it exactly the way I want it. And now I'm going to cut a strip that I can go ahead and use, fold it over like so, and I'm actually going to put this little hollowed out circle, oh my gosh, what am I saying? This, you know what I'm saying, this little hollowed out piece that I rolled over. I can't think of the word for it. I'm a little tongue-tied today. Please excuse me, but I glued that down onto my bow, and then I'm going to glue some tails down under my bow by just taking 2 lengths of ribbon and dovetailing the end. Again, I cut a triangle upward to dovetail that, and I just glue it underneath one of the loops of my bow so that it has a nice seamless look, and I kind of arrange the tails how I want it, and I thought of the word I was trying to say for the shape that I glued in the middle of the bow. A cylinder shape. Okay, now that that's done, here is our beautiful wreath. Again, it's very customizable, but I think it is such a pretty glam wreath, and it was very easy and inexpensive to put together. And like I said, you could also find your florals at Dollar Tree. So let me know what you think about this wreath, and if you would like to see more glam DIYs on my channel. So on to the next one. Let's create a gorgeous swag for our door or wall using just a few Dollar Tree items. I had these 2 Dollar Tree 18-inch Christmas trees from last year. I had already removed these little plastic pieces off of the base, and I had already used zip ties to twine 2 of them together. Well, zip 2 of them together. And so that's all you have to do. Just take those little plastic pieces off, which absolutely isn't even necessary. I just wanted to. And then just attach these 2 trees using zip ties, or you could also use pipe cleaners or twine, whatever you prefer. And then I flattened out one side to be my bottom, and I flipped it over. So to the top side, I'm going to spread all the branches out like so. I'm trying to create a beautiful fluffy teardrop shape. I'm also going to take some of these garland twist ties that you can find at Dollar Tree, Hobby Lobby, or Walmart, and I'm going to wrap them around both trees and tie them on the top so that I can fluff that out. Once my tree is as full as I want, you can take some greenery to decorate it out with. Dollar Tree has gorgeous florals as well as pretty much any craft store, but I got these wreath kits, I believe at Hobby Lobby last year, and they were like 75 or 90% off. I can't even remember, but I grabbed them up so that I could use the florals and greenery in them, or the berries and greenery in them. So I'm just going to be using this greenery and just attaching it on to the top of my swag by just wrapping the bottoms around the branches. You could do the same thing with any beautiful picks from Dollar Tree or Walmart. Just take them apart and place each piece on individually, just using those branches as a way to twine that on. Then I'm going to take two of these gorgeous little glove ornaments from the Dollar Tree. I didn't have two matching ones, but I thought this was cute anyway. I'm going to hot glue one on lower and hot glue one a little bit higher, and I'm going to try and nestle them down into the greenery. And once that is done, I'm going to use a piece of twine and loop that through the loop of my mittens so it will look like they're hanging, and I'll just go ahead and tie that on my little tree base there. So now my little mittens look like they're hanging on this swag, and then I'm just going to wrap up the stems of these trees with some of this beautiful buffalo check ribbon from, I believe this one was from Hobby Lobby because you can get a large roll inexpensively, but Dollar Tree has a very similar, if pretty much the same ribbon. So once that is done, I'm going to create a bow for this swag, and I'm just going to fold it over. This is similar to my X bow, creating 2 loops on either side, except with this one I am going to create 3 loops on either side. I'm going to cut off the excess, pinch it tightly in the middle, and then tie it with a piece of twine. Then this one again is going to be a little bit different because I am going to create a little loop to go in the top of this bow. I just thought that this super special swag needed a little extra for the bow. So I'm fluffing my bow out by just pulling out those loops, and then I'm taking a little piece of this ribbon and I'm wrapping it around like so, gluing the ends together so I kind of have a cylinder shape. I will then glue that using my hot glue right into the middle of that bow, and now I have a super easy, super pretty bow that I can attach right to the top of my beautiful swag. Look how pretty it is, you guys. I absolutely love it. I also purchased these beautiful glazed berries at Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby has Christmas things 50% off right now, but you can find similar berries at Dollar Tree. I glued these all over my swag using some hot glue. Once that was done, I just grabbed a piece of twine, formed a loop, and tied it at the bottom. I'm going to glue this to the back of my swag so that I have a way to hang it. Look how beautiful this was for a few dollars. This is very customizable. You could use greenery or florals or berries from anywhere, whatever type of ornament you choose to decorate this. I just think this is so gorgeous, and it gives me all the winter and Christmas vibes. Now I'm going to show you how you can reuse a wreath you may have made for a previous season and make this gorgeous Christmas wreath with it. So I had this wreath that I had made from fall, and it was just some pumpkins from Dollar Tree, some greenery, and some twine wrapped all the way around to Dollar Tree wreath form. So I made it bare down to the wreath form. And then I took this fabric I found at Hobby Lobby. It was 50% off. I got a yard of each because I plan to use it in several other projects. You do not need that much. Maybe even a quarter yard of this dotted fabric would be fine. But then I cut it down into strips that were 2 inches in width, and I stacked those up, and then I'm going to cut my strips 4 inches long. Then once I have a nice little pile here, I am going to go ahead and use a piece of twine to just tie 2 of them together so it kind of looks like a bow. I just crisscross 2 pieces of fabric,
tie it tightly with my twine, trim off any excess, and then kind of fluff it out and arrange it so it looks like a cute little bow stack. I do this a lot of times because I want to go around about 3/4 of my wreath form with these little ties. So just continue to do that. As you hot glue them on to your wreath form, which is covered in twine or any fabric that you like, just try and make sure that the middle of your little bow stacks lines up, because if you do that, then when you hold this up, it almost looks like the fabric has been stitched in the middle with the jute twine, and I think it just looks so pretty. So if you have any sparse spots that aren't quite full enough, you can go back and tuck another little piece of fabric, and here's what it looks like. Okay, once we get that a little bit fuller, let's set it aside and begin on our Santa from Dollar Tree. We're going to use Waverly Plaster Chalk Paint to paint his beard, mustache, hat, and the fluff on the brim of his hat. Here's what that will look like. And now I'm going to take that fabric that I showed you from Hobby Lobby, 50% off. So it was $7.99 a yard, and then 50% off of that. So inexpensive. But Dollar Tree does have fabric. I just honestly think that if you can get it 50% off at Hobby Lobby, you get more bang for your buck. So I covered the top part of the hat in this fabric by hot gluing it down and then trimming off the excess. I took one of these little duster mops from Dollar Tree, trimmed the end off, and hot glued that down to the brim of the hat to be my fluff. Once you get it glued down, you can just kind of spread it out a little bit. This will shed, but once you get it in position, it is beautiful and well worth it. I cut off another little piece to be the little puffy ball on the end of my hat, and then I hot glued my Santa down to my wreath form. Now I'm going to have a space at the top and the bottom of the Santa, and also on the side where I want to put a few more little fabric ties just to fill everything in. And once everything is filled in, we can begin to embellish. So customizable, so easy. But I did grab these little wood gingerbread from Dollar Tree. They come 12 to a pack. I painted a couple with some brown paint. And then I added some pieces of greenery that I had in my stash and some berries to Santa's hat, and then I added 2 of these little gingerbread men on there. I also added one more little ribbon tie to the brim of his hat. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. It gives me vintage vibes. I just love how it looks. I hope you do as well. So now let me show you how I made this wood round candy cane lane sign. I love how it came out, and it was very easy and affordable to create. I grabbed a wood round. You can grab these from Dollar Tree, but I have found that if you purchase them 50% off at Hobby Lobby, they are about the same price if you break down the package size. So now I'm going to grab a gift bag from Dollar Tree and trace my wood round onto it. Also, I will add that the wood rounds that you can get for about the same price if you average out, since it's a package, they're larger than the Dollar Tree ones. So just throwing that out there as well. But I'm going to take this Dollar Tree gift bag. Once it is cut to size and the top is trimmed off, I am going to use a glue stick to attach it to my wood round. I am then going to take a piece of sandpaper and go all around the edge so I have a nice clean edge. Now it's time to create a bow. As we do have quite a space at the top, we're going to cover that up. So I'm going to create what I call one of my expos by folding it over twice, and then I decide to just add one more loop to either side, so we have 3 loops on either side. I'm going to take a piece of twine and tie it tightly in the middle. The tighter that you tie your bow in the middle, the more you can fluff it out, and in my opinion, the more it is fluffed, the better it looks. So once that is done, I'm going to trim off the excess. Once that's done, then we're going to go ahead and fluff this out. I love using wire ribbon because you can get a better fluff on it. I am then going to create the exact same bow, but with only 2 loops with another ribbon. This ribbon was from Dollar General last year for $1, I believe, and I'm just going to layer that on top of my other bow with a piece of twine. I'm going to use hot glue to attach that to one of the sides at the top of my sign, and then we
still have a space at the top. That's okay because we're going to use some greenery and berries to fill that in. So I had these little candle rings from Dollar Tree, and I'm just cutting the greenery and berries off of those. But Dollar Tree does have all kinds of different picks and berry picks that you could use. This just works out well for me because the pieces are the right size. So I'm just adding in the amount that I like on either side, and then adding a little berry cluster to the middle of my bow as well. And this was so easy to create. I had a little jute twine hanger on the back, and here is what this looks like. And we also still have the other side of that bag to DIY with. So very affordable, very easy and fun. Please let me know what you think about this one down in the comments. Okay, here's the next one, and I am going to show you how to create a wreath that is easy and fun. Let's create a Christmas sign with a beautiful reindeer from Dollar Tree. I grab a Dollar Tree wood round, some Mod Podge, and some Dollar Tree fabric, and I'm only going to be using about half of it. And I am Mod Podging it on to my rounds by Mod Podging underneath and over top. When it is completely dry, I then trim off the excess with a pair of scissors. You could cut it to size before you glue it on if you want to, but this works for me. I put another little piece of that burlap across the middle and glue it to the back. Once that is done, I can go ahead and decorate my sign. I am taking this reindeer from Dollar Tree. That was $1.25. They do have one with a black type plaid on it as well. And I'm just gluing that on top of the burlap of my sign. And I'm going to take a dollar pick from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to just take it apart so that I can glue the little embellishments on there at the top. So $1.25 for the wood rounds, about 75 cents for the fabric, $1.25 for the reindeer, and the pick. They're so well under $5, and I think this is so adorable. I add a jute twine hanger to the back, and I add one of these little Merry Christmas pieces. There's about 6 to a pack at Dollar Tree for $1.25, and here is an inexpensive DIY. Now I'm going to show you how I made this beautiful bell wreath using a wire form we found at the Dollar Tree. It comes apart and there are several rings. I took the largest ring and I cut off those little tabs that are on the inside. I then cut the form open and I began to string on my jingle bells through the little slat in the top. These jingle bells can be found 6 for $1 at the Dollar General. You can also find them at Dollar Tree, 6 for $1. You can also find some 9 for $1 that are a little bit different. They come in a variety of colors, but color doesn't really matter if you plan to spray paint this like I do. I just go ahead and fill my wreath up. Now, I don't get my wreath completely full. I want my jingle bells to be able to move around a little bit. But if you want yours completely full, you can do that. Once you get it to your desired fullness, just pinch the ends together, and I use some duct tape and hot glue for a permanent hold. Once I get that really nice and tight, I'm going to go ahead, put a little glue on either side, and I am going to take this outside and give it a great good coat of my burnished amber spray paint by Rust-Oleum. I absolutely love this spray paint. It is so pretty. Once that is done and dry, we go ahead and we give it a generous coat of our Mod Podge spray outside as well, as that is really stinky. Once that is done, my helper was super excited to pour tons of cinnamon on top of this while the Mod Podge was still wet. We then allow that to dry, and the cinnamon gives it a gorgeous rustic, rusty look as well as an awesome smell. We then take this pick that I had found at Walmart for $3. My Dollar Trees have not been carrying some very good florals this year, but I know that Dollar Trees do have beautiful florals if you're lucky enough to find them. I just went ahead and took this pick apart and placed it on either side there. I do use a little bit to attach in the middle, and then I just hot glue other pieces until I get my desired fullness. Once that is done, I'm going to take this absolutely beautiful ribbon. Now sometimes I get confused on my ribbon whether I find it at Dollar Tree or Dollar General, but I usually don't pay more than $1 for it. They both have beautiful ribbons. I just go ahead and make a nice full bow with 3 loops on either side by crisscrossing over. Once that is done, I pinch it tightly in the middle, and I take some of my Dollar Tree twine and pull it as tight as I can and tie it. Then I go ahead and tie it to my wreath form right there in the middle of all that greenery and fluff it up. I take this beautiful pine cone that came on my pick and glue it in the middle. And that is how simple it is to make this absolutely gorgeous Jingle Bell wreath. I used about 7 packages of 6 for this, and I just absolutely love it, and I hope that you do as well.
Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And take care, friends.
You can subscribe to my mom's channel. And thank you for watching today's craft, and stay safe.